What is up, my fellow Chibits? Today, I'm here to bring all of you the weekly Chibi vlog. Okay, so before I begin, I gotta ask, how has everyone's week been? Are you doing good? How has your day been? Has your week been amazing? What are you watching? What are you reading? I mean, what type of games are you playing? I mean, I'm very curious. You know, I love you guys, and I want to know more about you. So please let me know in the comments below, and I do hope that all of you continue to have many, 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 many great days. So, now that I've said that, let's talk about something. So, at this time of making this video, I currently have my Tokyo Magnitude 8.0 review on the entire series, or my final impressions of the series, currently rendering right now while I record this video. Most likely, you guys will see the video before this vlog, but just in case, if it's not up, it's coming after this video. I just want to make sure all of you know, I finally finished, Tokyo Magnitude. I did a review on it. I wanted to get it out, earlier this week and last week, but, shit happens. You don't really have time sometimes, and that's kind of what happened. So, I got it out now. It's better late than never. And Eva is coming, by the way. I plan to have that out very soon. I'm pretty much done with the series now. I'm just trying to get my overall thoughts processed, and then I'll dive into the, end of Eva movies. I'll dive into the movies and stuff, because many of you say, you need to watch the movies, Chibi. You need to watch the Eva movies to understand the full story. So don't worry. I hear you. 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 I'm going to watch the original anime first. I mean, I'll do, an impressions of that, and then end. And then some were saying I need to do live reaction. So I want to ask right quick, real here. Where do I need to do live reaction at? Like, for, Ava. Do I need to do it, like, on, the ending final episodes? Or do I need to do it on, like, for instance, the movies? I'm very curious, because someone said I needed to do live reaction, and I don't know exactly where I need to do one. So, if anyone has any ideas, or where I need to, because some were talking about end of Ava or whatever, please let me know in the comments below. Now that I've said that, that will be coming out very soon. Kingdom. Kingdom is so fucking good, dude. Oh, that shit. Video soon. Video fucking soon. God, Kingdom is just that, It needs so much more fucking praise. It's such a good manga. I don't even know why not many people talk about it, because Kingdom is such a good fucking manga. Like, why does no one talk about that series? Dude, the fucking generals and shit, the war, it's so fucking, it's so fucking good, dude. Why does no one talk about that series? Don't even get me into the fucking art. I mean, I've been reading it for a while, but it's just shit, dude. Like, why does no one talk about fucking Kingdom? It just blows me away with how good it is, but it's overlooked by everything else. But I guess that shit happens. So when I start putting videos out on that, I hope, maybe more take notice of this series. I highly doubt it, but I mean, hopefully some, even if 2 people take notice of Kingdom, because it's a fucking awesome manga. So, enough with that. Let's talk about one thing I want to discuss. So, one thing is that I was reading a manga, or manhwa to clarify, earlier today, and I've talked about this series in the past. Now, obviously, I haven't made any videos on it. I've talked about only in the vlog. Some of you might already know what I'm talking about, and just in case you haven't, I want to let you know, Brawling Go. Now, I've said in the past, this is not a series I recommend you read if you're not 18 plus, because it has nudity and sexual scenes, and so, FYI, it's not a series I will say go read right now if you're under 18, because it's not for you. So, Brawling Go had a series, or a chapter, these 2 recent chapters. Like, I was 2 chapters behind. I read the 2 recent chapters, and I legit just, I busted out laughing about how fucked up the chapters, like, foundation was. Like, okay, just to do a brief description of it. I guess, it's middle of the night, I just want to talk about it right now. In the middle of, like, the chapter, towards the end of one of the latest chapters, I remember the premise of Brawling Go, how the main male character, he legit could not have his dick get hard. I talked about this, and eventually he went to a penis rock, like this sage or whatever, and he blessed into where his dick can never go down unless, he has contact with a woman. I've talked about this in the past. It's called Brawling Go. And, well, in the latest 2 chapters, I was just so stunned. I'm like, what in the fuck is going, yo? Like, okay, so this girl pops up in one of the two latest chapters, and she says she's like a shaman, and she is tasked with making sure the penis rock doesn't get undone. For instance, unsealed. But thanks to the main character, he got unsealed, and, now he's been blessed. So, she's hearing all that, and she talks to this man, and eventually she finds out, like, whatever's going on with him, it's not something that is natural, what would normally happen. So, she gives him... I can't talk, yo, I'm getting embarrassed. I can't talk, I can't talk. I'm sorry, I just can't. If you know Brawling Go, if you've read it, you know what I'm talking about in the latest two chapters, what she gives the man. So, I'm not gonna go any further. I'm not. Fuck it. I'm not. I'm sorry, it's just too embarrassing. Okay, enough with that. Besides that, I guess overall my week has been relatively fine. I mean, Kingdom, caught up. Fucking, love Kingdom. Let's see, Ava, pretty much done with that. Want to get a video up on that very soon. Got Tokyo Magnitude currently going on right now, rendering, so Ava's next on my plate, and then Kingdom, I got Kingdom going, and then other stuff I can get out of the way. Just taking a bit to get everything processed and kind of get my thoughts aligned up for what I want to say, but everything is going rather smoothly, so to say. So yeah, week, I think, besides, anime and manga-wise, it's been rather tame. I mean, I played a little bit of games here and there. I was playing a little bit of Skyrim, actually. I got to play a little bit of that, and I tried out some mods, okay? So that's the big thing about the new Skyrim that came out. There's mod support now. I was playing Skyrim, and as I've said many times already in the past two vlogs, I always go vampire route. Like, I love playing as a vampire in Skyrim. Well, apparently there's this mod called Better Vampires, and I saw the mod, and it adds so much new mechanics to a vampire. For instance, you can actually, force choke someone with your vampiric powers. You can literally sneak up behind someone and feed on them and, snap their neck. And then you also can, drain their blood out of their body. You can literally turn people that are regular humans or regular people throughout the world, like NPCs, into your slaves that will follow you, vampire slaves. I'm like, yo, this is pretty interesting. Just this, mod that's called Better Vampires really changes the experience of Skyrim and being a vampire. So I've been fiddling with that, and I've had a blast with it. And, I changed the difficulty of it, because you can actually change the different settings of the mod. You could say, if you want to be very OP or not, and I made it to where I have some weaknesses. For instance, if I walk in the middle of the day, I actually have my health go down. For instance, my health is draining, and I'm dying in the middle of sunlight, which, that's how a vampire should be, but for some reason in, regular Skyrim, that does not happen. I mean, you can walk around, you have, weaknesses and stuff, but you don't die to sunlight. So I made it to where I could die if I walked in the sunlight. For instance, my health slowly drains. I made it to where, I could change my stuff to where I can, seduce people, make them follow my command. There's just some really cool stuff with the mod I had a lot of fun with, and I mean, that's just one of the things I've been doing. And I also got that mod that adds weather to Skyrim as well. I added, weather to where I could experience, all these different thunderstorms, rain, all that. It looks absolutely beautiful with mods. So yeah, I've been enjoying Skyrim somewhat. I have been enjoying Skyrim, but overall, besides, I haven't been playing much other games. I mean, I guess I've been playing a little bit of Smite here and there. I like my Smite. I play it every so often, but I haven't been playing much games, so to say, this week, compared to how it was, previous week, because, I mean, there was just so much coming out. So enough with that. I want to ask, once again, how was everybody's week? Did you have a good week? I mean, let me know, please. I really want to know. I'm interested, Chibits. Let me know, honestly, what happened this week for you in the comments below. So, let's get into the weekly fan mail. Domestica na Kanojo before censorship. So this is Domestica that many were talking about. I read, the first chapter of it, but... oh my... that's a lot of nudity. Obviously, since it's YouTube, I can't show you guys this, but... does Domestica really have this much fucking nudity? Holy shit. I know a lot of people read this series. I think there's 80-something chapters of Domestica. Oh my, so I could show this, because there's not any nudity, but this is from Shokugeki no Soma, and damn! Alice is still my favorite, though, I've just gotta say, she's still my favorite, damn, that buddy outfit, damn! Okay, let me get to this letter. Okay, there's a letter here, so let's see. Dear Chibi, BOL. I should have known. I should have known it was you, BOL. I should have keyed in on that. Dear Chibi, BOL here again, and this time around, I really hope things are going to work out for you and anything else that comes your way. Last month was the Rio Olympics, and I had spent the majority of August enjoying the athletes and their performances. I saw the one dude that got his arm snapped, and not to sound any, like, morbid or anything, but the first thing I saw when I saw this man, like, break his arm in the Olympics, like, it snapped. It looked like a freaking chicken wing. That's what it looked like to me. Now, no offense, I'm just saying, that's the first thing I thought of when I saw the man have his arm snapped. So, morbid stuff aside, let's continue on with the letter. Okay, as you may know, 2020 will be the Tokyo Games, and Japan has decided to use Luffy, Goku, and Naruto as mascots. Wait, what? As you may know, 2020 will be Tokyo Games, and Japan has decided to use Luffy, Goku, and Naruto as mascots to promote the games. So what do you think of that? It's been announced that there's a good chance that the 2024 games will pick Los Angeles as the next city to host the games. Do you think that is possible, especially in the cities of Rome and Paris are also competing to win that honor? I would like to see Rome have it, though. I would like to see Rome have it. It's a possibility, but we'll have to see. I mean, it really just comes down to, you know, how it's handled. Anyways, this time around, I have written a far more critical letter for us to do some discussions on, so expect to be using your brain a bit more than usual here. Also, this letter is so long with all of its contents that I think you will need to do a separate video from the vlogs for this alone. Challenge accepted. We'll see. Due to its length, I would recommend you do two things with this letter. First, get something to drink because we'll be talking a lot, and second, take a slight break between each topic. I trust you will know when to do so. I had intentionally delayed sending you this current letter because I really want to discuss with you the outcome of the tournament from Food Wars. Trust me, when I say that I have well over a year to think about the ending results, which means for Soma's development as a character, and what it teaches in the long run. So much after deliberation, I have concluded I do not like the final verdict of Shokugeki's tournament's arc, so as it goes completely against what Soma was trying to convey to Subaru earlier. This outcome is completely contradictory to what Soma was trying to tell Subaru, and by extent the whole academy, as it brings to question how and why Subaru is even allowed to attend the school in the first place. I know that the mangaka was trying to convey the message of trying to be your own person, but finding something that makes you your own person, a unique trait if you will, for all to see. However, the message is rendered virtually worthless with a character like Subaru still around as he continues to copy and create other people's dishes, springboarding off other people's efforts while only adding in small touches in order to further it, all without having anything truly original. Another reason why the specialty reasoning doesn't work is because it also insults every upcoming chef within the academy who has a restaurant or family tradition to uphold. This means that students like Megami, Nikumi, the Aldini brothers, and anyone else who has family cooking traditions should quit since they all lack a specialty that makes them unique. This brings me to my next point. All of these people do have specialties along with Soma himself, but came to the academy in the first place in order to better themselves and prepare for a harsher world, similar to Shinomiya. If the lack of specialty is really that important to the academy, then they should have expelled Subaru long ago for his perfect trace capabilities. That's interesting. You do bring up a good point. As a manga reader who has read every chapter of the present, I can now tell you that this logic of specialty never is brought up again in later events, as if it was just a plot convenience to make Soma lose in order to keep the story going without him learning from the experience. And that's exactly what happens. Soma continues on his quest to be best without learning anything of relevance to his development, and continues on the same path that he has been on since the start, and with the end goal of making Arena say that his cooking tastes good, he doesn't even... Oh, there's another one here. Doesn't even have a small amount of frustration to himself about losing like he did with Soma and Megami Challenge Shinomiya. A friend of mine said it's best when you give me his scenario of what should have happened to determine the outcome of the match by using the moon passing as a factor. Soma was the last to present his dish, but this special match had a unique time limit to it as well, with the moon passing from one end of the Coliseum to the other. The scenario my friend gave me was if Soma did not give the judges his final dish in time, as in they didn't eat the final version until just after the moon passed to the other side, but the judges ate it anyways to see what Soma's dish would taste like, the loss had more meaning to it as Soma being a few seconds goofing off. It would have been taught him the value of delivering a proper dish on time, as a true professional chef should, but at the same time showing that against two other rivals, which is to make choices that no one else would think of in a short amount of time, and still stay true to the Yukihira style of cooking, as how Soma approaches cooking is not the same as his father. Even if this was meant to show that Soma had to try to find something to make him a unique kind of chef and make him take his goals at an academy with more thought, again, that is something Soma has been trying to do since the beginning. All the reason behind his loss is just taking something that was already obvious to a higher level. At the same time, it would give him hope, since the judges still ate his dish even when they no longer had any reason to eat it at that point. In competitions, loss often inspires growth, and that loss that sticks with everyone, the most of the kind where you mess up. Say you're in the race and the win would be yours for the taking, and all you would have to do is not start bad, trip, or finish weak. But then you do one of those things that cost you that win that should have been yours. You become obsessed in the fact that you lost with such a small but meaningful mistake, and you're determined now to never repeat that error ever again. That should have been the lesson behind Soma's loss here, but it wasn't. This loss is not the same as Goku losing to Master Roshi or Tien, where it was showing that our MC still had a great deal to learn before he can earn a victory. No, this is on par with Ash never winning the Pokemon League while trying to teach everyone the lesson of sportsmanship and fair play, but having the message devalued because of the circumstances surrounding it. And also similar to with Soma thinking or saying, oh well, I'll get it next time. Even if the purpose of the outcome was to both show that Soma still had a long way to go, and that he is not ready to stand against the Elite 10, or even the best in his class, the lesson was already taught to him with the match with Shinomiya. Also in the current arc of the manga, the whole stance of Soma not being in the same league as the Elite 10 has been thrown out the window. Oh, trust me, we'll get to the topic of Pokemon later. For the record, Chibi, I do not have a single problem with Soma losing. It's just the reason behind it, and that I cannot let it slide. You know what? I could understand that. If I was completely up to date with the manga and I had a better understanding to everything that happened, like all the fine details, most likely I might come to the same conclusion. But since I haven't, I really can't, I discuss completely and say my true personal thoughts to it. But what you're saying, though, it does sound like it's a pretty bad overall motive when you do take some time to think about it. Well, regardless, Chibi, I'm truly glad that you have become such a devoted fan of Shokugeki no Soma, despite how you saw it in the beginning. I told this to my cousin, and it applies to you too. Food Wars baits you in with over-the-top fan service from the beginning, but that is not the main reason why people are coming back for more. The real focus of the series is cooking in the story of an outcast trying to make his mark in the world filled with endless possibilities and competition. I'll leave this section of the letter by saying that Season 2 is a real disappointment for manga readers because of all the rushing that I had been doing since the first episode. The first season had 24 episodes that adapted nearly 60 chapters from the manga, and it worked out. But Season 2's biggest problem that it tried to do the same thing, but with only 13 episodes instead. Not to mention that the very first episode completely skipped some chapters and didn't give this tournament arc the proper build-up it deserved. Due to all the rushing, I dropped the anime after Alice's mother was introduced because she was the one character whose anime appearance I was looking forward to the most, and they didn't give her the dignity and comedy her first appearance deserved. Since the beginning of Season 2, I had deemed it a disappointment for manga readers like me, who basically got tie-eyed. I know that tie-eye feeling. I know that feeling. Still, I hope that you continue to be a fan of the series in the long run, as my friend dropped the manga after the specialty verdict happened and has completely refused to start the series back up again. That he's that salty about it. If you want to see how much of the manga is rushed for Season 2, I recommend starting the manga from chapter 16 onward. If you also want to see an example of an anime that starts to degrade in quality with each passing season, look no further than The World God Only... What? Really? The World God Only Knows? I heard a lot of good things about The World God Only Knows. I heard it was a good series. Does it really degrade? Jeebits. Anyone? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious about that. Now, I'll be brief with God Only Knows, as to not to spoil it for you. The anime had 4 seasons and a few OVAs, but the pacing and quality started to degrade right away in the second season, and didn't improve at all from then on. However, since it was based on the manga that is now finished, I recommend that you read the manga instead, especially since the anime really cut out development of both characters and story in the anime. No, Chibi, there are no US releases for any of the manga volumes of The World God Only Knows, so you'll have to read the series online instead. Moving on, Chibi, I've noticed that another Chibi has sent you the anime called Medaka Box, and I have a few things to say about that series, as it has some things that are similar to Food Wars. Wait, really? For instance, the beginning has a fair share of fan service, so it'll make you believe that it is a slice-of-life comedy with a student council president that just wants to bring joy to all of her beloved students at school. That is not what the series is truly about, as after a while, the audience discovers that our main heroine has a far darker side to her, and the series then turns into a shonen seinen series with our main cast of characters suddenly finding themselves having to battle against a corrupt system within the school, and those who wish to have dominating will on everyone else. That is the manga Madoka box, and it's awesome from that point on. But as for the anime, it has 2 seasons. The first season does a good job of showing off the slice of life beginning and ending with a surprising reveal, but while the second season, called Madoka Box Abnormal, is actually pretty good, it is ruined by the anime original ending, and assures you that there won't be a season 3. Oh, that's disgusting. As the anime ended back in 2012. Yes, the very last episode ends anime original, with the producers of even telling you why it's ending that way in the beginning, while point blank telling you that they can't make a season 3 as if to mock their audience. Ooh, I do not like that. Oh, I'm so glad you're telling me about it. Oh, I was really debating on starting that anime. Thank God you just told me. Oh, shit. Oh, I would have been fucking pissed. Oh, thank you, BLL. Fortunately, the manga itself is done. I highly recommend that you read it instead of watching the anime. The only downside is that the manga is not localized for release in the US, so you have to go to a manga website to read it instead. Which is the tragedy of a lot of manga. I know that, Phil. And speaking of manga, I'm glad to hear that you are now getting into Domestica na Kanojo, and that enables me to get to a topic that I would like to hear your opinion on. Censorship in manga. Ooh, okay, interesting topic. It's no secret between us, Chibi, that I like Domestica no Kanojo, but the manga suffers from a problem with censorship that I'm not sure if you have become aware of or not. If not, I have included some panels from the manga that showcases the censorship practice on it. Look at the ones before the censorship and the ones after it. With a simple yes or no, you tell me if something is missing or not, and tell me what you think about the manga that gets censored, and if it is justified at all. Okay, so you're talking about the tits being censored. See, the thing is that sometimes manga needs to be censored. That's just how it is. Like, you know, Shonen Jump, they can't show tits. I mean, that's just how it is. I mean, some manga just can't be shown. I mean, some things need to be censored. So that's most likely what's going on. The series, that's just... yeah. I mean, censorship sucks, obviously. I don't believe in censorship. I don't. But that's just how some laws are. And, I mean, it sucks. But, I mean, it could be a hell of a lot worse. It could have them black balls. Like, I mean, have you seen Terraformars? Have you seen that series? Now that's extreme censorship. So, honestly, looking at the censorship of Domestica, what I just saw from the panels you sent me, it doesn't look as serious as some things. But yes, it's bad. But, I mean, overall, though, it's not as serious as some things I have seen. At least you don't have those big streaks of lines just blocking, you know, the censorship. Or blocking the nips. Okay, so you tell me if it's missing or not, and tell me what you think about the manga that gets censored and if it was justified at all. The next topic I want to talk about is the Eva series. First off, a backstory about the series. It started as an anime under the title of Neon Genesis Eva. At first, the beginning of the anime starts off in the mech genre. Bare basic supernatural threats are invading Earth, and humanity has built giant humanoid machines called Evas, Eva for short, to combat them. However, even in the first episode, there are subtle hints that there is much more to the series. I know what you're talking about. I still like Shinji, though. I still like him. I mean, even though he's a little bitch, I still like him as a character. Okay, where was I? However, even in the first episode, Cell hints more than just a bunch of teenagers suddenly trying to get thrusted into a situation where the world is at stake. Themes of parent abandonment, isolation, social regression, family loss, humanity's morality, and their place with God, and so much more are hinted at. What truly makes the Eva series stand out within not just the mech genre, but most anime in general, is that after the first 19 episodes of high-stake action is a heavy focus of psychological in most of the main cast. Yes, Chibi, Eva is very much a psychological anime. Oh, really? I've already seen some psychological from the earlier portions, so I'm kind of curious how that goes. A psychological anime as it is an action mech of one of the many characters already broken individuals when you first meet them, but you just don't know how yet. You get to dive into the minds of many characters to learn their flaws and what broke them in the first place. Hell, one of the characters even gets badly mind raped to the point that the person ends up in a nearly comatose state. Oh, shit. Okay, I don't want to read any further and spoil this. The first ending goes full on psychological and makes you question what's real or not before leaving you wondering yourself what the fuck just happened. Now that's the kind of ending the original anime gave the fans, and trust me, it was severely disappointing. After the anime came 2 movies, the first called Death and Rebirth and second called The End of Eva. Death and Rebirth recaps the first for 24 episodes. Okay, so I can skip that. For that reason, it's not worth watching unless you want to skim through the anime to get to the second movie, or to see some of the director's cut of the last 6 episodes of the original anime. The End of Eva disowns the original anime ending by giving us an alternate ending to the series that fits a whole lot better for the first half, and then everything slows down to a crawl in the second half before finishing on a very depressing and inconclusive note. For years, fans of Eva series have yearned for more proper ending than the ones that we've actually got, and we weren't sure if we would ever get get them until 2007. In 2007, an announcement came that shook the whole anime community with the confirmation of a rebuild of Eva, which is, as its name indicates, is a reboot to the original anime series only in movie form. The very same Eva movies that were sent to you, not by me, by the way. Now, why have I told you all this information, Chibi? Because some time ago in one of your previous vlogs, I noticed that a fellow Chibi told you how the current Eva movies are a sequel to the original TV anime series, which I have just proven is completely false. Rebuild of Eva is a 4-part movie series that retells the story of the original anime with updated animation, visuals, lack of filler, and an overall higher budget. I do not know where that Chiba got that misleading information from as a longtime fan of this franchise, I could not let that slide. The first movie, Eva 1.0, You Are Not Alone, and the second movie, Eva 2.0, You Cannot Advance, retell the first 19 episodes of the anime, but with significant changes. While the third movie of Eva 3.0, You Cannot Redo, goes on a completely movie original route that leaves all fans right now anxiously waiting for the fourth and final movie to be released. Of the three current films, the last one, Eva 3, is the odd one because it drifts so much from the other two and it's not what anyone was expecting it to be. What do I mean? At the end of the previous two movies, each one gave a short preview of what we were to expect for the next movie, and they lived up to those teaser clips. Eva 3 didn't do that and caught everyone off guard because there was one more movie to come. We could continue to wait to see what kind of ending will be given to us this time. With all this, I can more than safely say that you can watch the rebuild of Eva movies without needing to watch the original anime or movies, since they basically rebuilt everything from scratch. Another reason that you don't have to watch the original anime is because the license for it expired some time ago, and the DVDs called Neon Genesis Eva Platinum Collection are now extremely expensive to purchase. If you look at the price on Amazon, it fetches for over 400 used. Holy shit. And at least 200 used. In order to get the DVDs, I had to import them instead, since that's actually cheaper. I actually own these very expensive Neon Genesis Eva Platinum Collection DVDs, which include the director's cut of the last 6 episodes. But I bought them nearly 10 years ago when they only costed $60. Despite this, if you ever get the chance to, I would still recommend you watch the original anime, as it's aged very well. I do agree, it has aged splendidly. I have no problems with the original Eva, so I'm going to watch it before I watch Rebuild. Let's see. It's aged very well. The English dub for it was great, and it will still leave a lasting impression on you. Eva is more than a great mech anime. It is a great anime in general, as it constantly makes it onto a greatest anime of all time list whenever one is brought up. You want some perspective on how incredible this series is? The late, great Robin Williams himself was a devoted fan of the series, and he has on more than one occasion openly, proudly admitted to this. That is the Eva series, but the practice of retelling an anime story in movie form only to take a completely different route from it's not limited to this one, mech anime, and I think you know where I'm going with this next. Just like Rebuild of Eva, Macross Frontier was anime first before getting 2 movie adaptations, giving fans an alternate ending to the series. Unlike Eva, though, the Macross Frontier movies have an actual ending and is complete. Of all the Macross series that exist within the franchise, Frontier is my personal favorite, and I hope that will be one that will turn you into a fan as well, Chibi. Without spoiling anything, Macross Frontier TV's ending is positively orgasmic and makes for one of the most visually impressive endings of anime that I've ever seen. Chibi, I was the one that sent you the Macross Frontier. Well, I had to import it since it has no US release, but the DVDs should still work, as well as all the Macross merchandise, including the soundtrack CDs, as well as the first Macross series, Super Dimensional Fortress, or as known as here in the US, Robotech. The Macross Saga. I cannot recommend Macross Frontier to you enough, especially since it celebrates the franchise's 25th anniversary and did a much better job at an anniversary celebration than the Pokemon anime ever did. Well, we'll get to that. Definitely watch the original 25 episodes anime first before you go to the 2 movies, as they help explain one another. Now, Chibi, I want to briefly talk about the White Album and White Album 2. The 2 are not connected despite their titles. I have heard time and time again, I know. Chibi, I must talk about Pokemon anime and why I consider it to be like a drug. I'm more than sure by now that you have heard about the ending results of the latest Pokemon League match and how Ash has once again lost the league. I have heard that. What the fuck? Like many people, especially 90s kids, I watched the original seasons of the Pokemon anime from Indigo to Orange Islands all the way up to Johto. I've seen the first 7 movies and immediately bought Pokemon Heart Gold on the DS when the game came out back in 2010. Now, even now, I tend to keep up with any upcoming news involving the games and what new things they add and introduce. I bring up all these facts to let you know what kind of a Pokemon fan I am, Chibi, and that I no longer have any love or mercy towards the anime. I'm not even slightly mad at the fact that Ash had lost another league. I have left the anime so far behind me that it is not worth the time time or energy for me to get mad or frustrated. I was not surprised when Ash lost his current Kalos League in the current X, Y, and Z series, because I have accepted the fact that this has been an ongoing routine for the anime since back in the Johto series. That, unfortunately, is not the mindset Ash was beaten when he was so close. It was actually kind of amazing to see just how shocked everyone was at the anime for even letting Ash lose the league again, and I think at some point my disdain for the anime may have corrupted my perception of people. After the episode came out and everyone immediately made their numerous rant videos, you know what I did, Chibi? I raised a glass, took a drink to salute Red, and then I proceeded to bathe in everyone's negative reactions to the loss with a big smile on my face. This goes back to my history with the anime, since I did not have much of a problem with Ash losing the Indigo League, because I was able to see back then that the setup for that loss had been present since the beginning. After that, the Orange Islands happened, because I was like many other kids, did not comprehend the concept of the terms filler or non-canon, and it was probably for the best. This is because when we saw Ash win the Orange Islands League, it gave us so much hope and fulfillment to make us believe that he was capable of achieving his goal. When he later returned to Professor Oak's lab and we see Gary again, no one expected Ash's Pikachu to be beaten by Gary's Eevee. Then came the revelation of something that utterly shocked everyone back then, the introduction of a new region called Johto, with new Pokemon as well as a league that was supposed to be even more difficult than the Indigo. Everyone, including me, was so excited to see this new region and all the challenges that awaited Ash. There was a lot of build-up, too, with Ash currently being able to take on championship with the league, with him finally earning Charizard's respect and loyalty, actually earned all the badges, and even though many of his Pokemon remain unevolved, and they made it to a point to show that at the very least Ash was training them to get better, like the case with Cyndaquil. However, when the time finally came for Ash to go to the Johto League, or Silver Conference, we saw Pokemon no one had ever seen before. Blaziken. I knew something was not right. Sure enough, Ash had his Charizard beaten by that Blaziken, only for it to later be beaten by an unseen trainer off screen. It was then that my utter disdain for the anime truly began, because I knew then what the anime was really going to be about, because I had seen everything I would need to know from now on. This is why I see the Pokemon anime as a broadcast drug, because unlike me, who dropped the show without a second thought after Johto, many continue to watch the show despite the fact that it is not good for them and continue to waste both their time and energy. The biggest problem with the anime is that ever since Ash went to the Hoenn region, it has been on a continuous let's kind of reboot and restart everything from square one cycle. How bad is this cycle? If the anime doesn't reuse old plot points from previous seasons with different characters and setting, then it completely drops previous built-up plot threads, hoping that the audience is dumb enough to forget about it. Remember the GS ball from the Orange Islands up to Johto? Yeah, I remember that. Now, there's one such plot thread that was built up throughout those seasons only to be completely flushed down the drain, and I even know the reasoning for it too, but that is also idiotic. The reason the GS Ball plot was dropped in the first place was because there was going to be a Celebi in it, but since the movie Pokemon Forever came out, the makers of the show didn't want Ash having a legendary companion with him. And then I asked, why'd you guys do a Lugia episode back in the Orange Islands and even had to acknowledge Pokemon the movie 2000? Ash could have easily befriended this GS Celebi, taken it home and said goodbye and continued on his journey without a legendary. You want an example of reused plotline? How about Ash and Pikachu once again fight someone who owns a Raichu, loses to it, and Ash contemplates whether to evolve Pikachu. Wait, did they really do that again? Pikachu says no, we can beat him our way. They have a rematch and win. Sounds familiar? Yes, it's wow, it really is. Wow. This is why I view the Pokemon anime as a drug, because people continue to watch and stick with it even though it brings them nothing but heartbreak and disappointment. It's covered with some very sweet things to disguise the fact that it's not good for them. Much like a Pokemon who is an addict that won't get off of what they're on. Similar to Johto, X, Y, and Z have much build up to Ash and taking the win for League to make his friends and himself proud, but taken several steps further. However, when the time came, he still lost regardless. After this, many fans had the right mindset to look up who the writers of the episodes were, and found that it was written by the writers of the Best Wishes series, arguably the most hated seasons of all the Pokemon anime. Hey, here's the thing though, Chibi. I do not agree with the fans' statement about this revelation, because even though I will never fault the fans for looking into this and pinning the blame on the writers, this is where I have to quote Don Flamingo, try higher. Now what do I mean by that? Simple. While it is easy to place blame on the writers of the episode, I have to wonder if they ever had the choice in the matter, as the people in charge of the studio very much could have come in to tell the writers they had this, hey guys, a new region is on the horizon, so make sure that Ash loses this league. But boss, he doesn't have to here. Just do it or we aren't paying you. The fans will continue to watch the show no matter what we do anyways. It is my firm belief that the writers are only partially at fault, because since here the higher-ups can dictate how the show will go, and what so happens within it for the foreseeable future. It is no secret that this year marks the 20th anniversary of the Pokemon franchise, and if they were ever going to let Ash win the league, this was the year to do so, but they didn't. There was only 4 possible ways I could see Ash becoming a league champ, but everyone is less likely than the last, and as they are followed, it happens in a manner similar to the Orange Islands. Despite everything that I have said, for those that continue to watch the anime and are further disappointments in the future, I have only this to say. Someone will break at a later point. It won't be the studio. What are your thoughts about all this, Chibi? Now, I know that the subject is probably the most controversial thing within the whole letter, Chibi, and frankly, it's supposed to be, but I can get even a few people to wonder to themselves, is the anime even worth keeping up with anymore? I don't keep up with the anime, so I personally have no idea. I'm just gonna be completely honest, so I don't really have much opinion on the said subject. Let's see. Many fans will not like what I have to say here. Some will outright hate me for it, and that's fine, as long as they ask themselves if they are pinning that to stand on the right individual who's just voicing his concern on the matter that's been on his mind for many years now. We've been lied to for nearly 20 years now with so many false promises that I felt it's time to let it go. On the very off chance that he'll actually win a league, I will watch every episode of the season that happened in, but I'm not waiting up in Ash will lose the Aloha region's league, whatever it is, despite me hearing that it won't have any gyms. Say, Chibi, I want to ask one thing of you. What do you consider to be the biggest waste of time in watching anime for you, besides Glass Slip or Akuma no Riddle? For me, it was Endless 8 episodes for the second season of Haruhi. Really? I liked Endless 8. I actually did like Endless 8. And what really makes that art trash is that the story could have been sorted out in just 2 episodes. We also could have had the disappearance of Haruhi serve as a finishing arc as the last 6 episodes of the second season if Endless 8 did not exist. I have asked you about Black Bullet's light novels were in comparison to anime. You have mentioned that the anime needed to have some more inner monologue so we can get into the mindset of the characters. I very much doubt that is the only case now of whatever the anime was missing, and where in the light novels did the anime take place in. Well, moving along, the next topic I want to discuss with you, Chibi, is manga, since there's 2 manga I wish to talk to you about, Batum and Deftopia. Before I get into Batum's manga, I want to briefly state that anime's level of censorship is on par with that of Tokyo Ghoul, since the Blu-rays aren't really that uncensored compared to the TV broadcast, just like Tokyo Ghoul's anime. Despite that, Studio Madhouse still managed to adapt 50 chapters of the manga into the anime, and did mostly a good job of it. As to the manga of Batum, however, it is far more graphic in the usage of violence and tone overall compared to the anime. Also, remember how in the anime there was some psychological elements in it that let us get in mind of many people that are taking part in the Batum game? We get to see more of that later on in the manga. Right now, the MC has kind of gone off the deep end and is at a breaking point. After reading and catching up with the manga, I think I understand why Madhouse did not make a second season yet, since they adapted 50 chapters and the manga is still ongoing with currently only 86 chapters. So Madhouse could be waiting for the manga to be done to make a season 2. Later, season 1 sold well enough. Speaking of faithful adaptations, Chibi, I know from the past letter how you feel about Ore no Imoto anime, and I agree that it was trash, but what if I told you that it was one of the most faithful adaptations of the light novel series? And it doesn't change my opinion. It was still a fucking trash series. Dude, that fucking ending was just like, fuck you. Just like, fuck that ending. Fuck that motherfucking ending. Fuck Orimo. I'm sorry. Fuck that series. Fuck that series. Oh yeah, I gotta ask this because the manga of the series wrote another series I recently got into, and that was called Deftopia, which is a pretty dark, gritty manga. It deals with the worst of humanity from a psychological aspect. The story mainly deals with brutal murder, mysteries, rape, and infidelity, and it's something I feel is right up your alley, Chibi. It has some vibes of Black Lagoon for me, especially when I come across a pair of twins that remind me of the twins from Black... Ooh. Let's see. Domestica no Kanojo panel is also one of the main characters and potential best girls in the manga wants to say a few words to. You'll see what I mean. This is the end of the letter, my friend. I want to apologize for its long leave given how much you enjoyed reading and discussing letters. Instead, I will thank you for taking the time to read my very critical letter, since I was in a critical thinking mode when I wrote it. Everything in this letter has been on my mind for years now, and trust me when I say it took me several days to finish writing this. One of my main reasons for this letter taking days to finish is because every time I think I'm done, something comes up to remind me that there's more to say. Another reason was because my mind was racing with my thoughts and it was such a chaotic state of mind that I needed the time to properly organize my thoughts. However, if I was able to offer you anyone else a brand new perspective of anything after this, then all is right with this world. Your friend, BOL. P.S. Do you intend to marathon Macross Delta? When I finally get to it, yes. Since you have it now, I would strongly recommend that you watch Macross Frontier, the anime, and then its 2 movies, too. Also, my previous suggestion of you making an anime to watch poll still stands firm, so I hope you give it a try. Who knows? It's a decent try. I might do it one day. You find a series that will give you the same experience you had when you did a manga poll what manga to read. Berserk's winning that one, and we all know what happened from there. The Automasters anime and movie DVDs were indeed sent by me because I have stated before, I'm not giving up on you because I'm a fan of that series too. Though the Idolmaster movie is not a recap of the anime, but a continuation of it, and yes, Chibi, I still hope to see you get the Cinderella Girls at some point down the line. Also, I was the one who sent you Shark Week and Crocodile. Oh, you sent Shark Week and Crocodile. Okay. As it's been 10 years since the world lost a hero and I lost an idol. Due to Steve Irwin's death, I have never looked forward to a Labor Day holiday ever again, since that was when I first found out about the news. Salute one of our true heroes, Steve Irwin and the Crocodile Hunter. He was a good man. I do miss him. To go with this letter in the manga panel that I sent you, I'm also giving you the first anime I've ever watched subbed, Love Hina, so that you may compare it with the manga. I've also sent you Kenshin. Ooh, the Kenshin movie that you may or may not have seen before. I'm glad to see you really like the JoJo coffee container that I sent you, especially since it's become your favorite character on it, Joseph Joestar. Also, Chibi, I was watching when you gave me that shout out when you were reading Amigo's last letter, and thanks for that. Even though you may not open any of my packages, some of your vlogs, I still watch the videos the whole way through regardless just to see your new content. Thank you very much, bro. Thank you. You know what's funny? I remember having a tiny little lunchbox when I went to school. This takes me back. This takes me back to Florida when I used to have a little mini lunchbox, take it to school and all that, have a little sandwich and stuff. Oh my. That's nostalgic. Gummy worms. I'll have to eat these later. I definitely will. What do we have here? An Asian candy that's also good for a sore throat. Give it a try. Asian candy good for a sore throat. That's good. That's good to know. Great tasting, refreshing, smoothing. So, honey liquote. I can't read that. Honey liquote candy? Okay. More doorstops for you to use as needed. You sent me another doorstop. GG, my boy. GG. GG. Build your collection up again if you like. Just glad you enjoy them regardless. Oh, I see a Blue Eyes White Dragon card, right? Yo! Yo! So, Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'll have to look for that later. Okay. Oh, okay, here's Kenshin. Okay, so here's the different movies and shows. Love Hina again. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so we have a doorstop. You know, I'm going to be honest here. The best thing out of this is the doorstop. I got to be real here with you, BOL. Doorstop's the best thing. So with that being said, thank you very much, BOL. It means a lot. Thank you for the letter. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, well, well. I never would have expected to see this. I'm assuming this is Danny that sent this. I'm assuming so. But Hack. I thought I had everything of Hack. A light novel. No letter, but holy shit, how much Hack did they make? Like, damn. They made a fuck ton of Hack series and spin-offs and stuff. Light novels and all that. That's just, it's ridiculous. Damn. So there's no achievement there's no letter to whoever sent this, but thank you very much. You know who you are. Thank you. Oh, Food Wars Volume 14. Oh, shit. Wait. Volume 14? Oh, this takes place at the end of Season 2, doesn't it? Wait. Yeah, it does. Huh. Volume 14 takes place at the end of Season 2. Wouldn't know. Okay, that's cool to know. So, is there a letter in here? No, there is no letter, but the Chiba that sent this know who they are, and thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And with that, I want to say, I'm going to end this video here. Damn, BOL, you sent out a long-ass letter. Like, that was a long letter. You got me. You won. Like, I can't... Yeah, it's already an hour-long video. It's like an hour, 10-minute video, so... I gotta edit this down, my mess-ups, my little flubs, and all that. So, it's gonna take a bit to edit this one down, damn. So, yeah, BOL, you won. Yeah, you definitely won. It's pretty much an entirely separate video just for your letter. And got a couple packages here, but like I said, I gotta get to editing this video. I'm tired, and yeah, so... I'm gonna end the letter here, or the video here. See, I'm just like, yeah. I've been speaking literally for an hour and 10 minutes without stopping. You all... have a wonderful day or not wherever you live. Thank you all so much. You all have a great day. And great days ahead of you. Love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.